This is your 7-day schedule to completely glow up your creative business and hopefully soar, thrive, and succeed by the end of those 7 days if you follow it step by step. So if you don't know me, I am Marjolaine, and for the last 8+ years, I've been guiding creative women entrepreneurs to build their soul-aligned business, get comfortable selling their magic, and really create a life of their dream. I myself am from French Canada and currently living my dreamiest life on a Greek island with my fiance. And in today's video, I want to break down 7 days to completely make over your life as a creative and find success and joy and momentum again, because we know how sticky it can get in a creative business. There are low seasons, there are bad months, there are not so good days, and wherever you are in that spectrum right now, I can guarantee that these 7 days will completely change how you perceive yourself and your business, and hopefully we will manifest a synchronicity or two, a magical opportunity or two. So let's get to it. So day one, what do we do on day one of this 7-day makeover for your creative business? Well, day one is all about your energy. So this day is about tuning in to your best flow, doing all the things that you know are good for you. So we'll start the day with a visualization. Before we open our eyes, who do we want to be? Who do we truly want to be? Visualize your best case scenario. Wake up and dress up in your best clothes, the outfit that makes you feel like you're living your absolute best life. Go on a walk, listen to a podcast, listen to the birds chirping, connect with your intuition, eat the yummiest food, the best delicious salad you could find or make. And the whole day is about your energy. So that day you don't even have to work on your creative business, you work on your mindset. You keep the vibe high, you keep your energy high. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, oh my God, look at me. When did I get so successful? What happened to me? And then you do everything that makes you feel good, which means scrolling, watching content that makes you compare yourself, doing tasks that are draining you. That is your embodiment day of being your most successful self. We only do things that align with that success, and we prioritize our energy. So that day is about dressing up, mindset on point, doing things that feel good in the body, movement, art, sports, having time for creative flow, and allowing yourself to just be the vibe. Be the vibe. You command the energy, you lead the energy forward, you create this dream reality, and that day is all about your energy. So we go from to, oh my God, who am I? When did I become so successful? What is going on? Okay, so that is our day one. Now day two, we've already put the energies high. We try to keep on those energies throughout the week. So please map out your best outfit with a Pinterest mood board. Go to bed early, drink warm water with honey or lemon, journal, be offline, like do everything that you can to keep up that energy through the week. You know what feels good, you know what to do, but this is where we put it into perspective. So day two, now that the vibes are high, our energy is high, is the day where we really start tuning into our intuition. What have we been pushing away? That day is all about listening. We're not acting, we're not doing, we are listening. We're asking ourselves questions. Who do I truly want to be? If I stop compromising on my full potential, what would I do now? If I allowed myself to be as successful as I know I can be, who would I become? Am I still scared of success? Where am I still playing small? This is the day where you prompt your intuition with a question, something that's been simmering in your heart, in your body. Maybe it is a creative pivot in your business. Maybe it is something that you're called to step into, more confidence. Maybe there's something you've been postponing that it's time to put into action. We listen, we receive. This day, to bring it more structure for you, I invite you to start your day with a channeling walk, which is you ask yourself a question and you start walking and you receive from your intuition little nudges, little whispers. And then once you've received, you ask yourself another question. So you go on that walk first thing in the morning. And the second thing I would do is I would sit with my white blank journal, not even lines, just a blank page journal. And I would ask myself, what am I called to step into? What version of me am I called to let go? And I would just do a half page channeling comparison of all the parts of me that I'm ready to let go, that I've outgrown already, that are still lingering. Maybe they're old limited mindset, old thoughts, old habits that no longer serve the version of me I'm becoming. And then I would also step into and call in the version of me I'm becoming. Set a new standard for myself. That would be receiving from my intuition things that are known, bringing them to light, and that would be our day two, receiving from our intuition. Okay, so now the vibes are high. We already have our energy on point. We received from our intuition. We have a few actions that are lined up in our mind. On day three, I would work on my sales skills. Because as a creative business owner, as an artist, as a soul-led entrepreneur, we need to learn how to sell our magic. We need to learn how to put ourselves out there, communicate our value, and really learn how to be comfortable saying, hey, this is how you can work with me. And now with that challenge on that day, I would invite you to post at least one story on Instagram where you invite people to work with you. Literally saying, by the way, if you are looking to get married in June, I have 2 spots for brides open in Europe. You can apply here below. Just a little call to action. Inviting people to work with you with a link. That is it. One slide on stories. That would be your action of the day. And I would also grab a coffee, sit down, and go watch the brand new masterclass I've just released. It's a free masterclass called The Feminine Art of Selling with Ease. 40 minutes, power-packed with 15 plus years of understanding sales as a creative. And if you sit down and watch this that day, I can guarantee that you'll feel so clear about how to sell without the awkwardness and the discomfort. That would be your day 3 action step. Okay, now we have the energies high. We took our walk channeled from intuition. We updated our sales skills. Now on day 4, what I would do is I would do an action day. A day where we put into action everything that we've received so far from our intuition, and we go bold, we go messy. Messy leaps, messy action, messy steps. So that day would be a day where you're connected to your intuition, and every time you feel a little nudge, maybe I should post this YouTube video I've been meaning to post. Maybe I should reach out to this client. What if I booked a flight and went to this retreat I've been wanting to go? Like anything that's been coming up for you, that is the day of action. And that day, what I would challenge you to do to hold space for the day is to have a 10 bold step checklist. It doesn't matter what you do, but by the end of the day, you will have achieved 10 bold steps. So we want to just keep track of us being daring, being a little messy, a little intense with our possibilities. Like, what could we do if we gave ourselves permission to go bold? And that means sending email, calling people, messaging, posting on stories, creating content, taking a step and going to a networking event and giving your card to 5 people. Whatever your mind intuition has come up with, that day is the day of action. Now, so far, right? We've worked inwards and outwards, our inner world and our external world, our skills. And that is why on day 5, we take a rest day. Yeah, as a creative, so often there is a blurred line between personal life and business. It gets confusing. We are wanting to be productive, so we never fully rest. We're pushing because we want to achieve our next big goal, and we forget to truly deeply rest. And what I mean by this is resting even in our mind, not being in constant curiosity or seeking the next thing or going bold. This is a tech-free day. It's a day where I invite you to be in nature in whichever capacity you have, whether it's in your yard or at the beach, in the forest. A day without tech. You can bring a journal, you can bring a book. You can bring money to go on a coffee getaway with yourself, play games. And it's a day where you just practice being present, practice feeling deserving and worthy of abundance, practice feeling deserving and worthy of living this life and this reality. As a creative, you're not only offering the world something beautiful, transformation, magic, art, you're also offering yourself the life you truly want to live, the life that is making you most inspired, most creative, most loving, and that life cannot wait for later. It cannot wait until you sign the next client. It cannot wait until you finally achieve this amount of streams on Spotify. It cannot wait until you sell that next big painting or commission. You need to give yourself permission to already be living your most fulfilling creative life now. And that is why it means learning how to design our life to live it, not just create or give others. You need to give yourself. You need to learn how to give yourself guilt-free, and realizing that those days are those supercharged station for your creative fuel. The more you nourish yourself, the more you give yourself, the more you let yourself sit in the emptiness, in the in-between, in the I'm at the edge of a big momentum, I'm at the edge of something here. Those days are the days that matter most. Are the days of integration, of learning everything you've received already, of consolidating in your body, of resetting fully your creative energy, so you can then have the natural incline to give. Because if lately it's been feeling difficult to give, maybe you've been feeling a little protective of your energy, or a little bit tired, it might be because you haven't fully rested in a while. Maybe your boundaries are blurry, or you haven't given yourself space to truly rest. And so that day is yours. What does rest truly mean to you? And how can you spend a day away from tech, away from creation, just to experience the present and recharge? Now, after a beautiful rest day, on day 6, what I would do is I would get crystal clear. This is the day where I would anchor all my decisions that have been floating, all the things that I haven't locked in that are currently slowing me down. Maybe you haven't locked in your social media posting schedule. Maybe it's been flowy for a while and sometimes you disappear and reappear, and you know deep down that you gotta commit to a certain level of consistency and make those decisions. Maybe there's a course that's been brewing in your heart that you've been wanting to package all of your wisdom into a course format, but you haven't sat down to write down the modules and to lock it in. Maybe there's been a new price increase in your creative business that's been lingering in the back of your mind. Oof, maybe it's time that I raise my price. Maybe it's time. Well, maybe it is time. Let's sit down and let's lock it in. That is the day where you lock in decisions. We take things that are floating, that we might have been overthinking for months, and we lock it in, right? And so again, as our day of bold action, that is just a day where I'm inviting you to take 5 intentional decisions, 5 floating items, and we lock them in. We decide, this is my decision. Because a creative that moves with certainty, a creative that moves with intention, a creative that makes decision is a creative that is successful. Because it's truly about alchemizing the floaty magic of it all into things that can be perceived and received, and that bridge is decision making. And so this is what truly brings our business forward. It's what allows us to truly be seen and succeed, because we anchored in decisions. And so we're almost done with our powerful week. Do you already feel how many change will happen in your life when you lock those days action in? And so that's why for our final day, I'm bringing in an element that is sometimes disregarded, sometimes brushed over, sometimes taken for granted, and it is the day of setting boundaries and raising the standard for your life. That is the day where I want you to notice, where am I still hooked in old clients' relationship energetically? Where am I called to raise the bar to how people have access to me? Where have I been unclear in my own schedule or routine and pushing aside things that actually matter to me? Are you holding space for your creative flow? Are you holding space for upskilling yourself? Are you holding space to have days to just rest? Are you holding space for people in your lives that shouldn't have so much access to you? Maybe it's time to charge for what you offer. Maybe it's time to say no with ease. Maybe it's time to block with ease. What is currently taking your energy and vitality and beautiful feminine magic? And what is currently being asked to be let go? Let's reassess those boundaries, the way you treat yourself, your schedule, the way you give people access to you. Where am I called to protect my energy? Where am I called to raise the bar for how I am and who I choose to be? And that's where boundaries and standards are really interconnected, in my opinion. Because when we say no to something, we say yes and prioritize something else. And so if you've been prioritizing working on your skills, for example, but it's been 7 weeks and you haven't sat down with a thing you've been wanting to learn, are you honoring your boundaries? And are you committing to the bar you've set for the kind of talent or level you want to be at with that skill? And so here I invite you to revisit, where am I called to raise the bar in my life? Whether it's your pricing, your routine, your health, your fitness, your relationship, and where am I called to set new, strong, anchored boundaries? Maybe that's my new minimum of income I want in a month. Maybe that's the amount of a level of client that I want to have or call in. Maybe that is the kind of way I want to treat myself every night. Maybe that is the kind of way I want to speak to myself. Also mental boundaries, mindset boundaries. These are all so important, so powerful, and truly where you can get really honest with yourself and where you've actually allowed distraction or external noises to take over your creative force and your momentum. And there we have it, 7-day reset for a creative soul that knows they are meant for more, and it's just time to truly lock in a couple things and operate at the level you know you're meant to operate at. You are so deserving of success. You are so deserving of living your most beautiful, magical, creative life. And as I love to say, Let's keep going for plan A all the way. Let's keep reaching for our true dream and be really honest with ourselves along the way. Being a creative is such a gift. It can get messy at times, but I'm so grateful you're here. And I hope you will subscribe and come in for my next video every single week as I guide you to live your most magical life as a creative. And lastly, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I linked below my powerful sales masterclass made especially for creative souls that want to learn how to package and sell their magic with ease and not the awkwardness of it all. It is 40 minutes, it is fully free, and I packed 15 plus years of sales experience in it. So you can click the link below and join me inside now, and I cannot wait to see you sell your magic with ease this year and really live your most successful life as a creative soul. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.